Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice, and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal, and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
At LinkedIn, we know hiring is a big deal for your small business. Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. LinkedIn uses data that you can't find anywhere else to give you the best candidates, all so you can feel confident you're hiring the best person for the job. And even a little hiring bliss. See why 86% of small businesses who post a job on LinkedIn get a qualified candidate within a day. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/achieve. LinkedIn, your next great hire is here.
Do you play anything?
Yes.
What do you play?
I play piano, guitar, drums, any instrument you put in my hand, I'll try.
Okay.
He's very talented.
So go ahead.
I gotta give him that.
This is the plaintiff, Edgar Moreno. He says he's known the plaintiff since he was born. And having to sue him in court today is quite upsetting for him, to say the least. The kid has a great ear for music, so he built a recording studio in his apartment and signed a recording contract with him. The defendant, however, is a lazy bum who stood him up for recording sessions, didn't treat him professionally, and he has no other choice but to sue him for $5,000, the money he invested in the defendant's career. This is the defendant, Daniel Molina. He says the plaintiff's job was to manage him, market and promote him, and to record his sessions. Unfortunately, all of his songs came out horribly. He wasted tons of money mismanaging them, and it was the plaintiff who always canceled sessions on him. Needless to say, this wasn't a marriage made in heaven. The guy has ruined his career, and if anyone's owed money, it's him. He's accused of letting the music die.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Moreno, you are suing Mr. Molina for $5,000. You say you're actually out $40,000.
That's correct.
As a result of his breach of contract. Tell me what's going on.
I know the defendant for all his life. His grandmother used to babysit us, and she's more like an aunt to me. He's a very talented young man, good ear for music, and I started a record label, and I hired him to be...
You started a record label?
A record label.
Okay, what's
I was
the name
going
of
to
the
school
record
for
label?
audio engineering.
What's the name of the record label?
Muscle Money Music.
Muscle Money Music. All right. And so what happened?
So he was hired.
Did you have other artists under your label or not yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. We was.
Right.
It's just
and
all.
what
from
was
the
his talents?
He produces, sings, writes music.
Okay. So go ahead.
And
Does
so,
he play anything?
Huh?
Does he play? Do you play anything?
Yes.
What do you play?
I play piano, guitar, drums, and any instrument you put in my hand, I'll
Wow.
try.
Okay.
He's very talented.
So go ahead.
I got to give him that.
How old are you?
24.
Okay. Go ahead.
So in 2010, I started taking up audio engineering because I wanted to invest in becoming a record mogul and start my own.
Mogul. Very, very good. Get to mogul. You know that, right? Okay.
And start my own record label.
Right.
Him and his father knew about it. We went to lunch
Were
and
you
breakfast.
close to his father?
I'm sorry?
Were you close to his? Were you close to his father?
We're past tense because of this situation.
Right.
Which,
So were you close?
Yes, we were close.
Okay,
Very
go ahead.
close. His grandmother used to babysit me.
Right.
We call her an aunt. She's a very, big influence in our family.
Okay.
And so, I know the young man since he was born.
So you enter into some contracts with him. Specifically, there's 3 contracts, right?
Correct.
And what goes wrong?
A week or 2 later, he comes in. We spoke about he's going to start coming in Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 6 to produce his music, because prior to that, he told me his Mac computer broke. So he doesn't have anything to work with. So, of course, I wound up purchasing a lot of stuff so that, so he could work with it at home in my apartment for him to produce. He would never come in. He tells me that the money, that he doesn't have the money, that he didn't, that the checks didn't,
What checks?
I gave him 3 checks once he signed, one for $500.
That they hadn't cleared?
And that they hadn't cleared.
And he didn't have the money for what, transportation?
To travel from his house to mine.
Which was from where to where?
From Brooklyn to Queens.
Okay, go on.
And I was surprised that he wasn't showing up. So I checked my bank account and it did clear. So I didn't understand where he was coming from. So I spoke to his dad. His dad was upset and surprised that he had signed the contracts.
Wait, when did you speak to his dad?
Sometimes in the middle, like
but
a Wednesday
why
or
did you
Thursday.
speak to his dad?
Because I was wondering why he wasn't showing up.
And so you tell his dad, hey, your son has a contract with me?
His father knew I had a contract with him.
How did his father know?
Because, like I said, prior to me signing contracts with him, we would go out to eat and sit down.
Did you discuss it with him?
Yeah.
All right, so
he
his
knew
father
that I
was
in the
mad. But then
process
what
of-
was his father mad about if he knew? That doesn't make sense what you just said.
He was mad because he didn't tell him about the money that he received.
Which is what?
$1,000.
Okay, so the only advance you ever gave him was $1,000.
That's correct.
All right, so he tells you, I can't make it because your checks haven't cleared. You check the bank, the checks have cleared. And then what happens?
Week later, everything was hashed out, and he started coming in, and we started working.
Okay.
And then in May, he started again, not showing up. And I knew I had surgery. I have my own problems to deal with physically because I'm battling cancer.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing better.
Hope so too. I'm still working on it. So I said to him, I says, look, I'm not gonna sweat this. I got surgery in June. I says, you got to August 31st to get your records done because we only have 12 months to get the records done. And
Why do you only have 12 months?
that's what's on
Okay, go on.
the contract. So he didn't come in, and I kept going back and forth, text messages, and he's very rude and arrogant when he talks. He's young, and the way he talked to me was, I was like, look, I want my money back, and let's leave it at that. He's like, you get your money when you get it. I'm like,
What's going on here?
Most of the stuff he's saying isn't true. My father had no idea that I signed the contract. I wanted to do something on my own, by myself. So before I signed the contract, nothing was said to my father. It was strictly between me and Mr. Moreno. After the fact, my father found out. He told me that I made a mistake because he knows Mr. Moreno and he knows that sometimes he can be very arrogant and he can have an attitude problem and he can be very strict. As he said, I did pretty much was raised knowing him as my uncle. So he was always the music guy. So I never had anybody in my family who was into music like that. And, so eventually when Mr. Moreno started getting money and he opened up his record label, I saw it as an opportunity. So I went behind my father's back trying to impress him because I wanted to show him that I can do stuff on
How'd
my
that
own.
work out?
He was upset. He was
Okay.
pretty upset, but we got over it. We spoke about it.
Where
and-
did you make your money to invest in the company? Like, if you don't mind my asking.
I had a windfall. I had over $1 million in the bank.
But through a settlement of some kind?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have your record label now?
Yes.
And have you signed any artists?
No, I just we had my last surgery back in March
Okay.
of 2013, and
This stuff happened in 2011.
That's correct.
How long did you guys work together?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Mm-hmm.
A year and a half?
That's correct.
So go on.
He says that I didn't do anything. I had at
What did you
least-
do in a year and a half?
In a year and a half, I actually produced over 11 songs. I wrote lyrics, and I have the lyrics here. I sent him the lyrics through email because he wanted a copy of all the lyrics of the songs that I worked on. Unfortunately, I only have one of the songs that he mixed down that was supposed to be a hit single called Insomnia, and the mix was bad.
His part of the job.
His part of the job was bad.
How did you guys finally break up?
We broke up because from time to time, I wouldn't be able to get there for certain reasons. And he would tell me sometimes, like when I would arrive all the way to Queens from Brooklyn early in the morning, he would tell me, oh, today's a no-go. I'm not feeling too well, so you would have to go back home. So I'm waiting at the bus stop and I have to go all the way back to Brooklyn. And he would do this numerous amount of times. And I would only find out that maybe a week later, that day he wasn't feeling well, he actually had a girlfriend over. And he would tell me this himself. So I'm like in my head, okay, you tell me not to come in because you're not feeling well, but then I find out you got a girl over. So that made me feel like, now I'm wasting my time. So
Who broke up with who?
he did with me.
And what reason did he give you for breaking up with you?
Well, at the time, I was going there straight for about 2 months. And I asked him for some time. I asked him for the weekend. And he was like, all right, no problem. That's the same night that I texted him, he texted me back. And he was like, you make me look like a fool amongst my peers. You never want to do anything. You're lazy. You're not hardworking. I think I made a mistake. I'll see you in court. Good luck to you. And that was a really big shock to me. And that was an even bigger shock to my father because they were so close together.
Tell me about that text.
Actually, he was having problems with his girlfriend, and he was distracted by his girlfriend and the issues that he was having personally, and so he wasn't showing up.
How long did he not show up for?
There were days he wouldn't even come for weeks. He would come. I have a list of the days that he came, that he created something, and which is half of. He says he completed music. There was no music completed. He's talking about the mixdown. Well, the mixdown is only a draft. It's not the actual thing, because once everything is done and completed, then I can go into a regular studio where it's nice and isolated for me to do the mixdown and the mastering.
I don't understand. What else did he need to do on the numbers that he did complete?
He only completed 4 songs.
And how many songs do you say you completed?
At least 11.
Name them.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you do business with a close family member, a close friend or a family member?
Yes.
Dangerous.
Why do you say that?
I ask the questions.
Okay.
No, I say it because it could ruin the relationship.
Well, I understand, but I mean, if you run your business with integrity and your
But
family.
the problem is the other person may not, right? But you look like Halle Berry. What do you think?
I think it would depend, but I probably say no first. But if you really know that person well, and we can be a good partner together, so maybe.
Go with your first instinct, I'm telling you.
Okay.
What do you think?
Actually, it depends on the person. If you know them well enough to trust them, and if you think they're good people, then you can do business.
Thing is, you don't necessarily never know them well enough to trust them until you do business with them, and then it's too late, right? Going inside the courtroom.
I have them here written down on the lyrics.
No, that's not completed. You wrote the lyrics for 11 songs.
Right.
Your part of it is to do what?
12 songs.
Okay. How many of your part did you do?
All of them.
You wrote all 12 songs,
Right.
the lyrics, the music, and produced it, and handed it to him for him to what?
So he can finish the product.
By doing what? What's that part of your job called?
His job was to do audio engineering, which is to mix it properly to get it radio
According to
play.
you handed him all 12 songs.
Right. Everything was done on his house, in his studio equipment.
Okay, and according to you, that's just not true.
No,
Name the songs.
There was a song called Insomnia. There was Be With You, Shorty Girl. I don't remember the other names.
Go ahead and look. Oh, do these ring a bell?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
In Puerto Rico, we call that puchi pluma no ma, meaning he's all talk but no action.
Okay.
He did write a whole bunch of songs while I was in the hospital, and he sends it to me in an email, and then he wrote a bunch of other tracks, but they never correlated with one another. So my part is to record it.
What do you mean that they never correlated? You didn't like it, or he never put them together?
He never put them together.
Okay,
He writes
is that
tracks.
accurate?
He
No, it's
made
not
tracks.
accurate.
So just hand me where 12 of them are put together. Let me see that. Shouldn't you be looking in the computer
I
instead
wasn't
of
able
paper?
to finish all of them because I stopped going to the studio.
You didn't finish all of them. Why do I have to prod you to finally get the correct answer out of you?
I couldn't accomplish the 12 because of the disagreement that we had.
Okay, well then why lie? Why did you tell me that you finished all 12 and handed it to him and everything was in his hands?
I didn't say all 12.
Yes, you did. First you said 11. Then when I asked you again, you said everything. I finished everything. Then now that I keep going and I'm going to make you show them to me, now you're telling me no. How many did you actually finish?
I'll show you.
Is it 4 like he says?
2.
Why can't you answer that question without looking at paperwork? You know how many you finished.
I really don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Is it 4?
It's 4.
Yeah. All right. So
It's definitely
then
not
when he
4.
tells you, I don't want to work with you anymore, you're lazy, it's been long enough, you should have been more industrious, you don't really want this is just something you're dabbling in, this is my business and you're not working for me, just give me back the $1,000 and we'll call it a day. What is your answer to that?
His answer that he said was accurate. I did get upset, and I said, you get it when you get it, because I did not have the money. So I didn't mean it in disrespect. I meant it as soon as I have the money, you'll get the money.
Right. And so before this ended up in court, did you ever pay him anything?
No.
Okay. How do you figure that he cost you 40 grand?
I wanted to make sure that my business is legit. The music industry is a very shiesty industry, and I don't want to look like somebody that's, you know.
Right, but how is he responsible for you not having any other clients because of your illness or whatever else?
Because in 12 months, we're supposed to have the record done.
No, I understand that, but you
and
know
he
what a
didn't-
record label is. A record label doesn't have just one client. I mean...
Well, I mean, I just started.
Well, I understand,
Right.
but you want him to fund your start. And
No, I already had the money for the start. I
well,
did it myself.
Yeah, but you're saying to me, Judge, he's responsible for me losing 40 grand when that's really the investment that you made in your own business.
Well, I had the equipment. I even went out and purchased a studio, because the thing is, he wasn't showing up to anything. And for me to rent out a studio could cost me from $200 to $2,000 a day, $200 an hour to about $2,000 a day.
So why did it take a year and a half for you to jettison him? You just kept thinking
He
he'd
wasn't
kick
showing
in?
up.
I know, but if he wasn't showing up the whole time, according to you, then why? I'm curious why you didn't say, I'm not working with you sooner. I'm just curious.
Because I already invested a lot of money into it.
I mean, the real dispute is that you have a contract that says you're going to produce something within 12 months, and it wasn't. And so what he originally wanted was, look, just pay me back my investment of $1,000. And, then you got a little snippy with him. And now he wants $5,000 because it's the statutory max in your state in small claims. But he says he's out $40,000.
Well, that...
You know what I think? If you're supposed to do something in 12 months and you don't do it, then really, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't pay him back the $1,000.
Right.
Because it's not as though, he didn't finally say I've had enough until a year and a half later. I ordered the defendant. I'm sorry that it didn't work out between you guys. I'm even sorrier that a familiar relationship of so many years is now incredibly awkward and over this attempt at business between the two of you. I don't know, it's always rough when you mix business with family. But I totally understand why in an industry like this, that would be the person who you'd trust and and the person who you saw flower would be the person you'd want as your artist. But it didn't work out. And I order you to return the $1,000, and we're leaving it at that. Good luck to both of you.
Well, your first foray into the professional music world lands you in court. What's your reaction to all this?
I figured because Mr. Moreno and I were part of family, he would look after me. And
What's your relationship with him like now?
Now there is none.
Isn't that kind of sad after he's known you your whole life?
It is. It's very sad.
And so what's the state of your career right now?
I'm just going to keep pushing after my dreams, and I'm going to go to school and attempt to continue doing my music production.
All right. Good luck to you right around this way. And so, Mr. Moreno, you come on out here as the winner of this case. Not everything you sued for, though.
No. Unfortunately, I kind of stumbled on the expenses that I incurred. I should have told her that it cost me $5,500 alone just to draw up the contracts.
What about doing business with your family?
Lesson learned. Never do it again. A good friend of mine said to me, gentlemen shake hands. Businessmen sign contracts. It was a business deal. He signed a contract. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
All right, let's go to Harvey in the street.
I got to say, it's not that there's a cardinal rule that you shouldn't do it, but it is risky business to start doing business with family members, because when things go wrong, that's when blame starts hurling back and forth. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by eBay. Buying parts for your car? You'll know that will it work feeling. But on eBay, buying parts is different. eBay's free returns means if it doesn't fit, or if it isn't what you expected, you just print a label, drop it off, and get your refund fast. No haggling, no stress, and at least 30 days to return any eligible item. Millions of parts, free returns. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. What do you bring to a holiday party? Simple. A bottle of Casamigos. Because nothing gets the party started like a Casamigos margarita, which isn't just for summer. In fact, it's the perfect pour all year round. Casamigos is the gift that always feels right. Because anything goes with my Casamigos. Please drink responsibly. Imported by Casamigos Spirits Company, White Plains, New York. Casamigos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
This is the plaintiff, Rudolph Lukes. He says he's known the defendant for 30 years. Brought his motorcycle into his shop for repair and the guy forgot to put oil in the transmission, ruining it for good. When he told the defendant he was responsible, the louse told him it wasn't his problem and to basically bug off. Bug off? Ha! He's suing for $1,680, the cost of a new transmission and labor to install it. This is the defendant, Frank. He says he's been in business for 40 years, and he and the plaintiff used to be longtime friends. He repaired the plaintiff's bike, but told him he didn't have time to check the transmission because the plaintiff was in a rush to pick up the bike and ride it to a festival. He can't believe his old friend's now trying to sue him for something he never touched and has no responsibility for. Some people. He's accused of ignoring a tranny.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff brought his motorcycle into the defendant's repair shop, says that the defendant forgot to put fluid in it and the thing blew up as a result. But the defendant says the plaintiff was in a rush and told him not to do it. It's the case of, I don't have time for my tranny.
I've been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Okay,
ma'am.
Rudolph Lukes, you are suing Frank. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name and to not mention the company you work for. You're suing his company for $1,680 in damages that occurred to your motorcycle when, according to you, he didn't do a job that you thought he did. Tell me what happened.
June of 2013, I brought my motorcycle to Frank for a full service.
How did you know Frank?
I've known him for years. We used to ride together. We had the same type of motorcycles. We vacationed together. And
Oh, you're pretty good friends?
We haven't, yeah.
Okay.
We haven't seen each other in a while, but every once in a while we stay in touch.
Okay.
So I bought this motorcycle in 2011.
What kind of motorcycle?
2010 Harley Davidson.
Okay.
And right away, the first person I thought it was to take it to Frank. So he serviced it last year. And this year I brought it to him in June. He's supposed to do an oil change, the mufflers, put a tire on. And that was about it. So I went to pick it up. The oil change was done. The mufflers were on. He said to come back for the tire.
The muffler was on. He said come back for the tire.
Come back for the tire, yeah.
Okay.
I rode the motorcycle up to New Hampshire.
How far is New Hampshire from you?
It was about 700-mile round trip.
700 miles round trip. Okay.
And then I rode it around town a little bit. Actually, on the way home from New Hampshire, I noticed a burning smell. So when I got home, I checked the oil.
You didn't stop to figure out what it was before?
No, we were in traffic. I didn't know if it was the road or something, but the next day, I guess I checked the oil and the transmission. There wasn't any oil in the transmission.
Okay.
So I put oil in. I told Frank.
Well, why didn't you kind of stop when you were smelling the burning to check on that stuff?
It didn't smell like anything was on fire. I didn't know if it was coming from, we were in traffic. I was with Ralph and my cousin.
Okay.
I didn't know if it was from the other cars or the road. It was real hot. And I didn't think anything was going to go on fire. I just noticed the smell.
Okay.
So I got home the next day. I checked it. There wasn't any oil at all in the transmission.
Okay.
So I put half a quart in. Didn't come on a stick. I added the whole quart, and it came up to full. And it takes 1 quart of oil.
Okay.
So I called Frank. I told him, I just rode my bike. There was no oil in it. He's like, oh, my God, I don't know how that could have happened. I'm sorry. And I said, well, I put oil in it. We'll see what happens. I rode it around a couple more times, maybe a week altogether. Then me and Christine decided to go to New Hampshire again. And on the way back, I heard this clunk. And every time I let off the gas, clunk, clunk, clunk. It got
Were
worse.
you checking the transmission?
No, I put oil in it, like I said, back in June.
Is oil different from transmission fluid?
On this motorcycle, the oil and the transmission fluid are the same, but they're in
there's
separate
only
compartments.
They're in separate compartments.
Correct.
You use the same oil?
Takes the same oil, yes.
All right. And on the second ride to New Hampshire, did you check the oil to make sure that it wasn't leaking or anything else? Or
When I got home, yeah.
after the second trip to New Hampshire?
Well, after it started banging.
And did you stop when it was banging this time, or?
No, I was just trying to make the ferry. I didn't know whether the wheel was going to lock up. I asked, do you hear that noise? Every time I let off the gas, clunk, bang, clunk, bang.
Okay, so.
I just wanted to make it home. And we were like maybe 20 miles from the ferry, we're hitting traffic, so I'm letting on and off the gas. And every time I do it, it's getting worse. I'm like, oh, just please let me make the boat, at least get to Long Island.
Okay.
So I made it home. And I told Frank, look, there's something wrong with the bike. You want to take care of it? He says, I don't have the time. I don't have the tools. Okay. So I brought it over to Ralph's house. He has a motorcycle lift where you can raise it up like an ironing board.
Ralph?
This is my friend Ralph.
Okay.
And I got another guy to come look at it. He works for on bikes. Transmission was shot. So I priced around. Holly wanted $1,800. I was like, I found a used transmission on eBay. I bought the transmission. I got a mechanic to put it in. And then I went and seen Ralph. I said, Frank. Frank, this is what it cost me for the bike. What do you want to do? I don't do nothing. It's not my fault.
Talk to me.
Well, Rudy called me in June. He was out of town. He was coming in town. He wanted a tire mounted on his bike that he had purchased elsewhere. I told him I was super busy. I was booked. It was the first week of June. I was booked solid, and I could probably do it on Saturday. He told me, no, I'm going on a trip on Saturday. I'm trying to go to New Hampshire. Can you do the tire for me? So I told him, get the bike to me, which he did. He showed up on the 6th, on Thursday, to drop off the bike. He walked in with the tire and then said, wait a minute, went back out, walked back in with a couple of boxes. Now, all of a sudden, he had mufflers, he had chrome accessories that he wanted put on the bike, and could I do this, and could I change the fluids, and this, that, and the other thing. And I said to him, look, I am definitely going to do the tire for you. I said I would. I said I'll try to get the mufflers on. As far as the rest of the stuff, I'll try to do
What was the
whatever I
rest
can.
of this stuff?
Well,
What is it you didn't have time for? You're saying he brought it in with the big laundry list and you only had
Yes.
time to do a few
Well, I
of
have
it,
the-
but what was it you didn't do that was in the laundry list? Because I know that the laundry list, services requested problems, does say change all fluids.
Right. Right. I didn't change the transmission fluid. I didn't change the primary case gear lubricant. I didn't install his chrome accessories. I did look at the rear tire. I didn't check the rear suspension. I put air in it. I did change the spark plugs. I wasn't able to do everything that he asked me to do. I had started working on that bike about 5:30 on a Thursday night. I closed at 6. I was booked the next day. I did everything I could. I worked like 3 hours on that bike. It was late. I was going home. I charged him for less than 2 hours. He came to pick it up on Friday. I went over the work order with him. and I
Did you
showed
ever
him.
specifically tell him, I mean, how long does it take to check the transmission fluid?
Well,
Or to change it? How long does that take? Like
maybe a half an hour, maybe.
that long?
Yeah, maybe half an hour, 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Did you
yes.
ever tell him that you didn't do it?
Yes. When he came to pick up the bike, we went over the work order, which I have right here.
So did you say to him specifically, I did not touch the transmission fluid?
He asked me, did you change the transmission fluid? I said, no, I didn't. He said, did you change the primary gear case lubricant? I said, no, I didn't.
Did
you
that
put my chrome
conversation
accessories
occur?
on here?
No,
I said,
walked
no,
in-
I didn't. And
Okay.
the work order shows I changed the oil, filter, plugs, and mufflers. I mounted and balanced the front tire. That was it. So he knew this when he picked it up. I showed it to him. He said, no problem, don't worry about it. I'm okay. And he took the bike.
Do you have a mechanic saying what went wrong with your transmission? Like an actual expert who says this is what went wrong and this is why it went wrong?
No, but I had other people drive it.
So let's say even if the defendant forgot to put fluid in, if this guy drove hundreds of miles and smelled that burning, whose fault is it?
I think it's the plaintiff's, because if he took it in earlier, it might not.
Well, it's not even so much earlier when he was in the shop. Let's say the defendant screwed up, didn't actually put the fluid in, but the guy drives it for hundreds of miles and he smells it. Whose fault?
It is the plaintiff's fault. He knew something was wrong and he should have gone in sooner.
Is that right? Is that right?
100% right. If he smelt it, why wouldn't he stop? Why would he just keep going?
Seems logical to me, going inside the courtroom.
I don't have an actual mechanic that stated, and Frank didn't want to look at it.
Not true.
And I called him. I said, Frank, so you're supposed to change all the fluids. That's normal service on a Harley. You change the engine, the transmission, and the primary.
I know. Here's what he's saying.
He's
saying, I told him I didn't get to that, and I wrote what I got to.
He didn't do that. And I called, when I went back to saying...
What should I do about this right-hand part? What do I do about the following? Number one, the fact that description of work performed only says changed oil. Doesn't say anything about transmission fluid or transmission oil.
It says change all fluids. That's what I requested.
No. That's the services requested. On the right side of that same... you understand what he's arguing.
I understand, yes.
He says, I didn't get to these 8 things. I got to these things. That's all I did. That's all I charged him for. He knows it darn well.
Okay, well...
Hold on. Issue 2, you continued to write it on leg 2, 3, and 4 from here to New Hampshire. Issue 3, you have nothing, absolutely zero in writing from a qualified mechanic saying that the expenses you're having to undergo are as a result of riding with no fluid in your transmission. It's, where I'm involved, it's a matter of proof. That's what I deal in. I deal in proof, and there's proof missing here. That
there's no way I can prove he didn't
I'm
put oil in it.
I'm sorry. I'm ruling.
Yeah.
There's proof missing here for me to pin a $2,000 repair on him for all the reasons that I've gone over already. So that's my verdict. Judgment for the defendant.
Thank you.
And so without enough proof, the plaintiff loses his case here in the court. You just couldn't pin it on him if it was indeed his fault.
How do you prove somebody didn't put oil in the thing unless it blows up right in this parking lot?
Well, you could consult another professional and bring in that testimony.
I guess that's what I should have done.
You could have done something like that. What about, you guys have been buddies for how long now?
30 years.
30 years?
Yeah.
What's the status of that friendship now?
I'm not going to the shop anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing, but still consider him a friend of yours?
I wouldn't kick him off his bike if we were riding together.
Okay. All right. Right around the corner this way. All right. Come on out here. And so that's not a happy customer right there.
Well, I'm not happy either. I lost a friend.
Mm-hmm. Is that more important to you than everything else here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he says he wouldn't kick you off the bike if he saw you.
He could try.
All right, Harvey.
So expert testimony is critical in cases like this. And in small claims court, even a notarized statement from an expert would help. But you need an expert in a case like this to prove your case. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. For 18 years, Subaru and its retailers have supported over 2,700 local charities through the Share the Love event. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
This is the plaintiff, Charles Schneider. He says he purchased the defendant's condominium, and in the contract it states the built-in wall unit and 2 matching nightstands were included in the sale. When he did the walkthrough, those items were there, but when he took possession, they were gone. When he inquired why, he was met with a terse response from the defendant stating she wanted them, so she took them. Not fair. Not fair at all. So he's suing for the $3,696 he's now owed. This is the defendant, Rochelle Jackson. She says she sold her condo, and after the sale, her broker called and told her the plaintiff wanted to buy some of the items of furniture he saw in the unit. The plaintiff offered her a ridiculously low price for the built-ins, and she politely declined. She never heard another word until she was served with this crazy lawsuit. So here they are. She's accused of taking things that don't belong to her anymore.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff bought the defendant's condo and says the deal was supposed to include the nightstand and the built-in wall unit, but the defendant took it. Now, the defendant says that it was never part of the deal. It's the case of condomania.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mr. Schneider, you're suing Ms. Jackson, who sold you your condo.
Yes.
Because according to you, she inappropriately took some items that should have been part of the sale.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
We signed a contract to purchase the real and personal property located in Manhasset. The personal property included built-ins, which was a mirror, and articles of property fixed or attached to
May I see the contract?
Yes.
Is that actually specified in the contract?
Yes.
All right, so go on.
We did a walkthrough and found certain articles located in the master bedroom no longer there. The property
So this is before the closing?
Before the closing.
Okay.
We contacted our attorney.
What were the articles that...
2 nightstands and a mirror.
Okay, are the let me see.
They were a pair.
I know they're a pair. Are the nightstands attached to, okay, there's also this mirror that's wall-to-wall mirror that's there. Nobody tried to move that. All right, and then the nightstand is in front of it. And so when you do the walkthrough, you notice that those nightstands are missing.
Absolutely correct.
And then the other item that you're complaining about is this mirror that is hung here.
Not only hung, it's literally attached by mollies.
Okay, mollies are not built-ins. Mollies are how I just hung up 7 things in my daughter's room with mollies.
But
they're,
Lana, that's how some of the other the so-called attachments.
Okay, this is a framed mirror. I had thought that we were talking about her trying to take down all this wall of mirrors, which I would think would be horrible.
Messy.
Yeah, well, hard and horrible. But you are literally talking about a framed mirror that hangs on the wall. You took that with you, as I'm sure you took all your artwork and pictures of your grandkids and anything else that you had hanging on the wall. What about the nightstands?
They are freestanding, and I have photographs to show that they're freestanding.
You don't deny they're freestanding, right?
I don't deny that they're freestanding.
You just think it's
what I do
nasty
argue,
to take them with you when they match
what
a built-in?
What I do argue is that an ordinary prudent person would think that when you buy attachments, including built-ins, that the pair of nightstands are part and parcel. If I should buy a cufflink set and there's a tie tack attached to the cufflink set.
The person who sold you the cufflink set has to automatically give you the tie set, or you have to buy it separately?
No.
That was a really bad example. Here's the thing. Why didn't somebody... I know why you want them. Nobody fails to understand why you want them. I just don't understand how... Did you have a lawyer?
Did I have a lawyer at the closing? Yes.
Yeah. Did you have a lawyer?
Yes.
Did you have a broker?
No.
Did you have a broker?
Yes.
Okay. So why didn't you bring that up, that you wanted the nightstand?
We, subsequently to the closing and subsequently to our moving in and taking possession of the unit, through her broker, we would offer the opportunity to purchase those.
No, but wait. Before it gets to that, when you want those nightstands and you're at the closing saying, I want the nightstands, and she says,
Right.
Right. Of course, you could turn around and make a big stink, but you decided not to because you wanted to close. Right. So you close, and then she says, okay, I'll let you buy them, and you offer her what?
$250.
Get out of here.
Why?
Because you're suing as though they're worth $1,200 each. That's why.
But I paid for it once.
No, so you're suing for $2,448. So that's like 10 times as much as you offered her.
Except
so if they're worth that, why don't you offer a little more? Maybe you'd have a couple matching nightstands if you weren't so greedy.
2 reasons. Because then I would be here suing for paying for something twice.
So this woman, the seller, she's a woman. Does she have a right to take those nightstands with her when she moves out?
Yes.
Why?
They're I mean, she can take them. They're nightstands.
They're nightstands, but the guy says they match the wall unit, the whole thing.
Just because they match doesn't mean the carpet doesn't always match the drapes, and so you can't just take it.
Wow, that's profound. I love that. Well, you should coin that going inside the courtroom.
When you had a chance to buy the nightstands, you offered her $250 for both nightstands.
Right.
Because I assume you thought that was fair.
No, I thought that was a token towards obtaining back the nightstands.
And your answer to the $250 was?
They are not for sale. I was so offended that I said to the broker, they are not for sale.
Now?
But if he had said 4,000, I might have sold them. He had been offered, and he had been offered the opportunity to buy any of the furniture. I mean, I gave away a big house full of furniture. He didn't want to buy anything. He wanted it for free. Now let's go to the mirror. He never mentioned the mirror until he went to small claims court. I bought that mirror in 1970 and never thought, and not a millisecond, that it wasn't my mirror and I wasn't taking it. So I did. But he never even cared about the mirror until I received the small claims complaint.
Okay.
By the way, I have the contract and I have a letter from the broker.
Yes, doing my job. It's my job to decide if something's a built-in. I agree with the broker. I happen to agree with the broker. I happen to agree with you. Those aren't built-ins. Those are clearly not built-ins. So I have a question for you. Do you have the nightstands?
Of course, I use them.
Yeah.
They're next to my bed.
You want to give him another shot at making you an offer on them, or you don't want him to have them because he was so greedy?
He can have them at the right price.
So what price do you think is...
My heart is broken.
Your heart is broken. You know, it's a delicate ballet. It really is. You know, I remember when I was young thinking, well, you can't really insult anybody. You know, like I would make low offers and I would do, you know, business is business. You never fall in love with a house. Until the day someone made me a low offer on a house that I loved. And I said, no, I'm not going to counter. Well, you have to. No, I don't have to do anything but die and pay taxes, get out of my house. And I got insulted. And this is kind of that, you know, it's kind of that kind of thing. It's very interesting. So did you ever attempt to make another offer on those pieces, or
No.
you're just trying to get them for free now?
I didn't.
First you try to get them for $250, and now you're trying to get them. Actually, you're trying to make her pay you $3,700. Okay.
Okay. Let me try to explain that. I don't believe that I'm getting it for free.
Well, you're not getting him at all. So would you like to make her an offer?
On top of the $835,000 we paid, we would pay her an additional $2,400, which is what we are suing her for in this court.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys see if you want to work it out there. I was just curious. So, but as to this case that is in front of me, my verdict is for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, hold on right there.
So the plaintiff comes out here without any nightstands, and on the losing end of Judge Million's decision, she tried to help you out as best she could.
Well, I thought she was trying to be fair, but the fairness when you pay $835,000 for something that
doesn't mean you can have everything in the world.
No, we didn't ask for everything in the world. We asked
the
for what was there.
nightstands.
Yes.
If you're willing to pay her $2,400. Do I hear $2,600?
No, $2,400.
$2,500?
$2,500.
Uh-huh. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. What? Oh, $4,000. She's holding up four fingers in there.
Oh.
Well, halfway between $2,600 and $4,000, what's that?
That would be $33,000.
How about that?
No.
Maybe?
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Okay, right around the corner. All right, there he goes. There goes 30. We got him up to 3,300 out here. Are you willing to?
That's better than $250.
Yeah, well, of course. But does 3,300 sound like a little bit enticing?
It would have to be cash.
Okay, Harvey.
You know, the wall unit's the only thing that's half interesting here in terms of the law. If removing it would cause significant damage to the unit, then there's kind of an assumption there that there's an intention to leave it. But in this case, the plaintiff just did not have the firepower.